I bet right now, if you needed an outfit for a party, you would not hesitate to hop in your car and go to a particular store. Or maybe if you're an online shopper, to actually turn your phone on, go to the website or the app of a particular store. What about when it's time for you to go grocery shopping? I bet that you have your stores that you like to go to, and you have your reasoning for that, right? So when you make decisions to go to certain stores or to certain websites or apps to shop, you are using buying motives to go to those particular companies. So today we're going to talk about buying motives. Let's get into this conversation. Let's go. You're listening to Marketing Adventure, the hub for business, fashion, marketing, and other CTE educators who integrate marketing into the learning experience. I'm your host, Jackie Walker. Each week, I'll cover marketing education concepts, strategies, tips, trends, frameworks, and other information to equip you to connect your classroom to digital natives while cultivating an engaged learning environment. So come on into the room where your favorite beverage, snacks, and even your cell phone are all welcome. Now, as I stated, everyone has their reason for going to a particular store to buy a product or a service, and that's their motive. It is their buying motives. So today we're going to talk about 3 different types of buying motives. They are patronage, emotional, and rational. Now, as a part of the 8 steps of selling, buying motives falls under the second step, which is determining needs and wants. So to kick off the discussion on buying motives, the first one is patronage. Now, think about this. So do you ever go to a particular store for your jeans or for your undergarments or anything of that nature, any particular thing that you like? Do you go to a particular store for those things? Or do you go to a certain store because of how it makes you feel, the atmosphere that's created, the atmospherics to use, the music, the mood that is set, all of those things? Or do you travel out of your neighborhood to go shopping, grocery shopping? Well, all of these things are considered patronage motive. You go to a particular store because of how it makes you feel, or because you have become loyal to that store for a particular reason. So, for instance, my daughter goes to Trader Joe's. I know there are a lot of Trader Joe's out there, but my daughter loves to shop at Trader Joe's. So she has her 3 stores that she would go to: Trader Joe's, Aldi, and Tom Thumb. I rarely hear her talking about anything else. Now, my son and his wife, on the other hand, they are hard HEBers. And if you don't know about HEB, it's an Austin store. But they will travel 30 minutes to go to the grocery store and pass up a ton of grocery stores on the way. So they have, this is called patronage motive. They love the atmosphere. They love the items that they have there. Those are their reasons for shopping there. Now, in the world of fashion, we know that people have their certain stores that they like to go to because maybe it's the price. Maybe it's the way a certain item fits them. Maybe it is how they feel when they go into the store. They're welcome, they're treated well, all those things. Those are patronage motives. So they will go to those stores beyond any other stores. They don't even think about the convenience of it. It is that particular store. And sometimes the price doesn't matter because they want that particular item. They want to go to that particular store because of what it offers them. They are loyal to that business or that brand. That is what patronage motive is. Now, the second motive is emotional motive. This is when you are incited to make a purchase based on how it makes you feel. Makes you feel good. It makes you feel like you're going to be a part of something because you've bought this item. It could be the value that it brings. These are things such as it could be a wedding dress. It could be jewelry. Of course, as teenagers, they love to be a part of the latest and greatest craze in tennis shoes. So the motive for them making the purchase is emotional because they want to be on trend. They want to have the latest and greatest tennis shoes. So when they go to school, they can say, I have these J's, whatever number is the most popular at that moment, or whatever color, or whatever it is. I remember when I was teaching, we did a poll on, shoes. We actually looked at everybody in the room to see what shoes they were wearing, and Vans were very big. We had a discussion like, why do you like to buy or wear Vans? And they say because it's popular, or because everyone's wearing them, or they look good, or what have you. But the main thing is that other people were wearing them. They were popular and they wanted to be on trend like everyone else. That's an emotional motive for buying something. It's not because you're loyal to the brand or anything like that. It's because you want to feel like you're a part of something. You want to be on trend. You want to be a part of the latest and greatest of what is going on. That is emotional. Remember that show, Say Yes to the Dress? That shop was in New York. People traveled across the country to go to that store. They wanted to be a part of the environment. They wanted to get that dress, whatever it was, whoever the designer was. They wanted to be a part of that atmosphere. They wanted to have the whole experience. Because to be honest, they could have bought a dress in their hometown or made it the town over. I'm pretty sure there's some cute boutiques that had nice dresses and even designer dresses, and maybe even some of the designer dresses that they tried on at the shop in New York. However, they were driven emotionally to make that trek from wherever they came from to go to that store to get their wedding dress. That is emotional motive. Additionally, making purchases based on your emotions to help you feel better about something. Maybe you got a promotion at work and you just feel like you deserve something. So you go to a jewelry store and buy yourself a necklace or a bracelet, or you go and get your hair done, or you get your nails done. Those are like emotional motives. I mean, you may get your hair done and your nails done on a regular basis, but if you don't normally, or if you do something that's out of your normal schedule of things and you go and get that done, it's emotional. So it's key for brands and companies to understand that people are emotionally driven sometimes. And, I think they have a really good idea about that, because a lot of the advertising that's done is done to play on your emotions. Think about the jewelry commercials, Jared's and Pandora. All those things are evoking feelings and emotions. And when you have that feeling or emotion for that specific thing, then what's going to conjure up in your mind is the idea of that commercial. That's, oh, I remember that commercial. I'm feeling emotional about my relationship with whoever I'm with. Let me go and get them some jewelry about from that store. So emotional motives plays on the feelings of the customer, or the customer makes decisions based on their feelings, how they feel about something. So that is emotional motive, and it is probably used more so than any other motive that we're talking about today. Now, as we move into the third motive, we're going to be talking about rational motive. Now, I know as a parent that, and a part of a family, that rational motive can be used quite often to make decisions. So, what is rational motive? Rational motive is when a customer makes a decision based on logic and facts. I can say for me, a lot of my decisions as I was raising my kids were rational motives. A lot of the things that I did were based on, the need and, I, I rationed out the logic in would it make sense to make this purchase or, one buying one thing versus another thing, maybe because of money or what have you. But when we make decisions based on rational motives, we do things like buying in bulk for savings or purchasing our children's clothes or shoes just a little bit bigger than normal so they can grow into them. How many of y'all are guilty of that? I say me, my son to this day, I bought him shoes one or two sizes larger, and he brings that up every once in a while. And to this day, he buys shoes that are like a size smaller than what I used to buy him when he was in high school and in college because his feet aren't growing anymore. And so he doesn't have to be concerned with outgrowing his shoes. But me, because we're talking about boys' shoes, they're more expensive than girls. Why? Anyhow, I was like, and I'm a single mom of two, and I'm like, okay, I have to make this go as long as it can go. So I would buy him shoes a size or two larger because I didn't know when he was going to stop growing. So a lot of families do that. So purchasing the clothes a size or two larger is rational, in our minds because we're saving money. Also, instead of purchasing a two-seater sports car, you will purchase a seven-seater SUV or a minivan because it's more rational for your family if you have children to have a car that can transport multiple people as opposed to a car that can only transport two people. That's a rational motive. So we use that logic to make sense of why we are making a purchase. We don't go off our feelings. Our feelings have nothing to do with it. And we don't go off of necessarily loyalty to a particular store unless that store is a money saving store or that store has something about it that, makes sense to us. So when customers use rational motive, again, they are looking at the logic and the facts of those purchasing decisions. So that is rational motive. Now, just as I was saying about using two different motives to make a purchase, you don't have to necessarily stick to one motive for purchasing. Those can cross, as I was just saying about saving money and then being loyal to a particular store that I know I can go to save money. That is patronage and rational. I like to shop at Aldi's myself for groceries because I know that one, that it's going to be economical as far as pricing is concerned. It's a small store and it has the things that I like. And it also has little specialty items that I tend to buy that is not on my shopping list. But so number one, I'm motivated to go to that store for patronage reasons, but also I'm motivated to go there for rationale because I know pricing is going to be effective. I know it's going to be better than going to certain other stores whose prices right across the street are higher than Aldi. So I use rational and patronage motives to go to Aldi to shop for my groceries. Now, you can use patronage motive and emotional motive together because if you are, let's say, a husband or a wife, or you have a mate that you love and adore, and you want to buy them some jewelry because they love jewelry and you want to make them feel special. So you can go to a certain jewelry store because you love the quality of that jewelry. You love how it feels when you walk in there to make a purchase. That's going to be patronage motive. But you could also be making a buying decision at that particular time based on emotion because maybe it's Valentine's Day and you're showing your love for the person that's in your life. Or it could be that they got a promotion on their job and you want to make them feel special by buying a purchase. So you'll be purchasing from that particular retail store because of patronage and also because of emotional motives. So you can use more than one motive in making a purchase. Now, all these purchasing decisions, these motives are key for retailers and brands to know. Why? Because they need to understand their customer and what makes them buy. They need to understand if they're going to be feeding into their emotions, or they need to do something to make them loyal, maybe a loyalty program. So they need to understand what kind of marketing they need to do to get that customer, one, into their store or onto their website to make a purchase, and then how to retain them. So there are going to be various things that they're going to need to know about their decision making in order to market to them properly. That's all a part of determining the customer's needs and wants. So that sums up our discussion about buying motives. Again, the 3 different buying motives are patronage, emotional, and rational. So I know this was short and sweet because I want to really focus on the various steps of the selling process and on the very particular things within the selling process. I do invite you to come back next week because we're going to be talking about customer types. Now, customer types are also a part of determining the needs and wants of the customers. So we're going to focus on specifically the various customer types. So come on back into the room next week. For now, I do thank you for joining me here at Marketing Adventure with Jackie, and I hope that you have a wonderfully blessed day. Thanks for listening to Marketing Adventure. Remember to subscribe, rate, review, and share this episode with someone you think would benefit from the information shared here today. If you have any questions or want to connect with me, find me on Instagram at Marketing Adventure. All links and resources discussed in this episode can be found in the show notes at marketingadventure.com.